The Texas housing market, once known for affordability and opportunity, is now shifting faster than anyone expected.
Home prices in Dallas and Austin aren't rising anymore. They're slipping, and in some neighborhoods, falling fast.
For months, economists warned this moment was coming. But for homeowners who bought near peak prices, and for sellers watching their listings go stale, the shock feels sudden. Texas built its reputation on affordable living, yet today many families feel they're watching that promise unravel. Dallas tells the story first. Inventory is piling up. Homes that once sparked bidding wars now sit untouched. Realtors who used to juggle multiple offers a day are reporting cancellations, price reductions, and nervous sellers. Analysts say the region is experiencing one of its sharpest slowdowns since the early 2010s. Austin, meanwhile, is facing its own reckoning. After becoming one of the hottest markets in the entire country, with prices rising more than 70% in just a few years, the correction is hitting even harder. Neighborhoods that once saw homes sell above asking within hours are now watching prices dip, sometimes significantly. Builders, who raced to take advantage of pandemic-era demand, are sitting on finished homes they can't move. Many have slowed construction or pulled back future projects altogether. What was a frenzy of nonstop building has turned into a careful crawl. So how did Texas, the state everyone thought could escape the housing crisis, end up here? The answer is layered. Rising mortgage rates have crushed buyer demand. The cost of borrowing has doubled compared to just a few years ago. A home that once cost $1,600 a month can easily cost $2,600 today, without the house changing at all. And this new reality has forced buyers to step back, wait, or simply bow out. Families who dreamed of owning in Dallas or Austin are now priced out not by the homes themselves, but by the financing behind them. At the same time, Texas built aggressively during the boom. Thousands of homes went up just as higher rates slammed the brakes on demand. That combination, too much supply, not enough buyers, is pushing prices downward. Then there's property taxes, the pressure point that pushed many Texans to the brink. In counties across the state, taxable home values soared during the boom years. Even when mortgage payments stayed manageable, tax bills exploded. Some homeowners saw increases of 20, 30, even 40% within a few assessment cycles. Governor Abbott, normally calm in his public addresses, reached a tipping point earlier this year. Reports surfaced of homeowners facing foreclosure not because they couldn't afford their mortgage, but because they couldn't afford the taxes tied to it. At one press conference, Abbott slammed a thick stack of appraisal data on the podium and declared property tax relief an emergency priority. His frustration was evident. Texas was supposed to be the state people fled to for affordability, not the state people fled from. In response, lawmakers moved quickly. A massive tax relief bill was passed, offering expanded homestead exemptions and targeted benefits for seniors and longtime homeowners. It was one of the largest tax relief packages in state history. But many Texans wondered whether the fix came too late. Tax cuts can soften the blow, but they don't solve the structural issue. Home prices and inflation ran far ahead of wages, and mortgage rates stayed painfully high. What's happening now is a market resetting itself, sometimes harshly. And for Texans who bought at peak prices, that reset is personal. In both Dallas and Austin, price cuts have become the new normal. In some neighborhoods, sellers are trimming $20,000, $40,000, even $75,000 just to stay competitive. National data shows Texas metros ranking among the top for price reductions in 2025. The frenzy is over, replaced with hesitation, negotiation, and uncertainty. Homes that once vanished from the market in hours now take weeks or months. And for each month a home sits, sellers grow more anxious. Even the rental market is shifting. With more new apartments opening and demand cooling, rents are flattening or falling in parts of Dallas and Austin. Landlords accustomed to raising rent every year are facing a new reality. Renters have options again. Experts say what Texas is experiencing isn't a crash, at least not yet. It's a correction. A pullback after years of upward pressure, fueled by migration, remote work, cheap money, and rapid development. But corrections can still sting, especially for first-time buyers who stretched financially to compete during the pandemic rush. Some households now owe more on their mortgage than the home could sell for today, a situation not seen widely since 2008. This is the pressure Governor Abbott is responding to. His recent speeches carry a sharper tone, acknowledging the frustration Texans feel. He knows a housing downturn can ripple through the entire state economy, from construction jobs to small businesses to property tax revenue. The biggest question now: how long will this downturn last? Optimists believe the market will stabilize by late 2026, especially if interest rates ease. They argue Texas still has strong job growth, corporate relocations, and long-term population momentum. Pessimists warn the correction could deepen if rates stay high or if new supply continues to outpace demand. In Austin, especially, some predict the market may not fully recover for years. Regardless of outlook, one truth is clear: Texas is no longer insulated from the national housing slowdown. The state that once attracted millions with low prices is learning that affordability has limits. Still, Texas has advantages. Migration hasn't stopped. It has simply slowed. Companies still view the state as a business-friendly powerhouse, and policymakers are finally confronting the tax burden that pushed many residents over the edge. The path forward requires balance, stabilizing prices without destroying equity, easing taxes without starving services, and building homes without creating oversupply. It's a complicated equation, and there's no perfect solution. But one thing Texas leaders agree on: ignoring the problem is no longer an option. As it stands, Dallas and Austin are navigating a new chapter, one where sellers must adjust expectations, buyers must be patient, and state leaders must rethink long-term housing strategy. Governor Abbott's strong reaction reflects the frustration of millions of Texans. The promise of affordable Texas living is being tested, and the future depends on how the state responds now. This is the story of a housing market coming back down to earth and a governor pushing back as two of Texas's biggest cities feel the weight of a collapsing price boom. It's a collapse. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening in Dallas and Austin, hit that subscribe button, because this story isn't over. Prices keep falling, more homeowners losing equity, more families trapped.